In July 1945, the crew of a midget submarine, XE-3, set out to destroy the Japanese cruiser Takeo in Singapore harbour. Her heavy guns could prevent the Allies retaking Singapore and had to be silenced. In command was Lieutenant Ian Fraser. His cramped sub carried 6 limpet mines in a side carrier that the diver, James McGuinness, would attach to the Takeo's hull. It sailed all night through minefields and past enemy ships to reach the target.
Eventually the cruiser came in sight. I could see it through the periscope. Quite a menacing looking thing. We had to start about 1.5 miles away. Reed was on the steering wheel, steering the boat, and he had to do it very accurately, and Kiwi Smith was controlling the motors and the depth of the submarine as we went in. Everything was proceeding quite merrily, when all of a sudden, we hit something with a clang. Bloody hell.
In the shallow water, the sub had hit the Takeo. Surely now they would be discovered.
Is this it? Will we be taken prisoner, end up in a Jap POW camp?
Miraculously, all stayed quiet. But the sub was jammed between the Takeo's keel and the seabed, so diver McGuinness could only open his exit hatch by about 1/3. He managed to wriggle out, but his struggles caused a potential disaster. He had ruptured his air supply.
A flow of oxygen bubbles were shooting up past my face and working their way up to the surface. If some Jap were looking over the side, he would wonder what the bubbles were coming up. So then I thought, well, it's either a case of going back and getting the leak fixed or pressing on and doing the job as quick as possible, hoping to get away. The bottom was pretty foul with green streamers and barnacles and general growth all over the hull. My first concern was for the limpets not making a good contact.
And every now and then he'd reappear, pick up another mine and take that away. And all in all, he put 6 of these along the bottom of the Takao. It took him 30 minutes. It felt like 30 days.
They had these tests where they had to swim underwater and fulfill all these tasks. And apparently Dad was very good at that. Because as a child in Belfast, he was very poor. And one of the big things they had was going to the swimming baths. So he was sort of like a fish almost.
When McGuinness returned, there was another problem. They could not jettison the pod that had held the limpet mines. It was stuck fast. McGuinness was exhausted, and Fraser offered to go himself, but the diver insisted it was his job, took a large spanner and set off again.
You sure, Jim?
So he was quiet. I suppose I'm like that in a way, introverted, I should say. But if there was something that needed doing, he had this sort of steely determination.
After 5 heart-stopping minutes, McGuinness succeeded, and the X-craft made its escape miraculously undetected. The mission was a success. The explosives went off as planned. For their courage in sticking to their task under constant fear of discovery, and for enduring a 52-hour mission without sleep in sweltering confinement, Ian Fraser and James McGuinness were awarded the Victoria Cross.
I remember